Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the common bug-type Pokemon Kricketot and its relatively uncommon evolution Kricketune, the two collectively known as the Cricket Pokémon. Known for their gorgeous melodies and lovely sounds, the members of the Kricketot family are curious insectoids that can make for a decent show if allowed to play to the heart's content.
Kricketot have short, stout, orangish-red bodies with a single pair of black, rounded, digiless feet and hands each, with a yellow belly on the exoskeleton that has a series of ridges running along its center. They have a collar of yellow skeletal material around their neck that is larger in females than in males, and are topped off with a dark orange nose, white eyes with black rings, and a pair of curled black antennae connected to the head by a dark orange protrusion. Their evolved form, Kricketune, have the same basic body color and shape, and are noted for a series of black markings on the front and sides of the abdomen that give the appearance of a guitar on their body, with black wings on their back used for limited flight. Their antennae have changed color to match that of the rest of their body, taking on a blade-like form, and they now have black eyes with lighter black sclera, a mustache set like of black feelers on their face that are larger in males compared to females, and the arms have changed into a pair of semi-jointed, sharp-edged blades. The members of the Kricketot family are fairly weak creatures at birth, and are limited in their capacity to actually attack others after they are born, which might explain why they tend to only come out in large numbers during autumn when they can blend in with leaves, relying on the simple growl, pound, and absorb moves to help them survive against predators in the wild until they manage to learn the struggle bug attack to defend themselves more aptly with. Even then, though, the creatures are offensively weak and are unable to do much in the way of damage, making them a poor choice for extensive combat. At the same time, though, Kricketot share with many other young Pokemon with similar issues the ability to evolve fairly early in their lives and will do so with great zeal, though a few manage to ever make it to adulthood regardless. Because the exoskeletons are fairly frail and easily damaged by direct contact, Kricketot generally only come out either at night or in the very early morning to feast on leaves and shrubs, remaining hidden in the tree hollows or in small caves while most daytime predators are out and about. Kricketune, like Kricketot, are fairly weak overall and not truly designed to go toe-to-toe with other fully evolved Pokemon, most likely the result of their early evolution. On the other hand, though, they are far deadlier than their pre-evolved form and can take on a decent combat role if needed. While they are still fairly slow and retain the small feet of Kricketot, Kricketune are far more adept in battle thanks to the pair of knife-like forelimbs on the upper arms, which are particularly adept at using attacks like Fury Cutter, which they learn immediately after evolving, X-Scissor, and even Night Slash to deal decent damage in battle. Moreover, the exoskeletons are far sturdier against physical blows and can certainly take a decent amount of punishment before breaking, though they are still fairly susceptible to special attacks and are unable to use the few special attacks they learn naturally to much effect.
As far as the abilities go, Kricketot tend to shed the exoskeleton on a regular basis as they grow and mature rapidly, giving them access to shed skin as the only base ability, and some can be extremely skittish and prone to running on sight, instead having access to run away as a hidden ability. On the flip side though, Kricketot tend to be a bit more vicious in using their natural attacks, and thus has Swarm as the only base ability, while those that are exceptionally skilled at making the most of their weaker attacks can have Technician as a hidden ability.
In looking at their stats in the case of Kricketune, it can be seen that they fall short of being a serious threat to most, and lack the power needed to overcome most sorts of challenges, but at the very least they can withstand damage a bit better than most bug types, their base HP stat being above average for a fully evolved bug type Pokemon, so they are not entirely without merit in that context. Despite their weak combat abilities, Kricketot are not wholly useless to trainers as the sounds they are capable of making are more than sweet to the human ear. While they might look like ordinary antennae, the sensitive tissue that lines the inside of these creatures' antennae is actually very thin, so the majority of the structure is actually hollow. When Kricketot trip, something they do often as a result of their short legs, and these stiff antennae then hit each other, they produce a clacking noise similar to that heard on a maramba as a result of the unique chemical structure of their exterior. While nothing to really worry about in battle, the brilliant sounds produced by Kricketot are treasured for their simplicity and lovely tones, and are often used in fall hallmarks in place of artificial tones, a trait that has made such greetings in the Japan area a popular gift for even unimportant occasions.
In order to communicate their emotions and thoughts to others, Kricketune utilized the otherwise bizarre anatomy to great effect, and end up communicating much more than just feelings or thoughts in the process.
In Kricketune, their larynx is actually connected directly to a large, stiff, hollow pouch inside their bodies that contains absolutely nothing and serves no other purpose aside from acting as a resonating chamber. When Kricketune produces sound, the sound travels into this pouch before it leaves their mouths, turning the otherwise shrill insect-like calls into a beautiful melody that pleases the ears of humans and Pokemon alike to a degree unseen among any other bug type. Ongoing research is still trying to understand what exactly each of these different cries means, which is not an easy task as these creatures are known to be able to generate entire compositions ad lib and are truly never at a loss for words. As such, little progress has been made aside from being able to differentiate basic feelings like fear, joy, sorrow, and anger. Regardless, Kricketune seem to enjoy the melodic sounds and will often cross the arms across the chest when playing, grinding the cutlass-like arms against each other to make even more music and grinding the bizarre appearance of an old-school professional opera singer in some cases. This is in turn reflected in their combat abilities, as they are able to learn the sing and pair song techniques naturally. In some parts of the world, there are even contests held to determine who has the most beautiful sounding Kricketune, an event that rarely ever proves easy for those forced to judge, as the sound that they make can vary widely depending upon what region they are from.
These little critters are incredibly adorable and have so much personality to them that it's hard to think of a world without them. Kricketot has silly little crickets that might not have much to work with on offense, but can still prove to be quite entertaining to interact with regardless. The fact that their antennae can make music when they strike each other is so incredibly cute, and they can even be played like an instrument a bit too, if you feel like giving them a bit of a tickle. Kricketune can play their fair share of music on their own as well, and are quite gifted at it, using their own bodies to make lovely noises that can make even the grumpiest person jump and dance to it in joy. Though those same limbs can offer some dangerous cutting strikes with them, and should thus not be totally ignored if they manage to show up in a serious battle.
Though they may not come off as the most intimidating of forces for most to have to deal with, the members of the Kricketot family can still prove to be interesting critters to work with if you're just starting out on a journey as a Pokemon trainer. Even then, the music they can make might ultimately end up becoming the one aspect of them that sticks with you for the longest, and that is often just fine for these musical insectoids in practice.
Just do yourself a favor and try to resist the urge to help them tune themselves for a performance, as they might give you more than just a little bit of a cut if you get in the way of the razor-sharp limbs when trying to check their tonal quality.
Thank you all for watching this video. It always brings me great joy to see others enjoying the work I do to try and make the world of Pokemon and the fascinating creatures that lay inside of it feel as real as they possibly can. If you really enjoy my work, please feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, as I always do my best to respond to any and all comments that are left on my videos. In addition, if you wish to learn more about my work and help support it, you can find links to my Patreon page, as well as email and other contact information to my work on DeviantArt in the video description down below. Furthermore, you can find a link to my Discord server there as well if you'd like to get a first glimpse at what videos are coming up next and converse with other fans of the world of Pokemon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.